Well, all right. Just gonna get into it, man. I must admit, I must confess, I don't feel my usual highly manic self where I can really deliver a show, which is where I would be tap dancing and going like ta-da. No, for me, I happened upon one story which you would naturally think is not it shouldn't be as interesting as it is. And hey, this is, I guess, what I do when I hit the button thing and do the thing with the thing. I bring to the attention of anybody that's willing to listen things that I. What's up, Jack? Peace, my brother. You might be going on a little journey with me. All right. First off, I'll tell you where my head has been at regarding just everything in the country. I want to say thank you to those of you that support and watch that kind of reached out and said, "Yo, saw your commentary on some of the dramas on the YouTube streets. Don't lose your head in it. Don't make yourself a target." And that is well received. Hey, Queen Survivor, well met. And at the end of the day, that is absolutely the correct advice to be giving. I think anybody with a platform, if the person with the platform intends to do something of value. But who am I to judge anybody that wants to make a lifetime's legacy of beefing with somebody else and to go, this is true, this is false. Brandy, don't ever apologize. Life, I can't compare, and it's unfair to compare. Short little pivot here, Brandy. I know you're going through it, and I've finally grown to understand we're all kind of going through an it. That's what universally connects us always. We all feel pain the same, which is why I was just thinking before I went on here, thinking on what would I go on and say and talk about. I was thinking about the kindness of strangers and how special it is when you capture such a moment. So, all right, before well, not before anything, I'm just going to break right in. This should not be as amusing as it is, okay? But as it stands, this is the world we live in. And let me just do the feature Jack, Queen, Brandy, other people. All right, so let me get the comments off there. This is true story. I learned of it through another channel, Nate the Lawyer or something. Great channel. I love his commentary, common sense individual, legal advice. I didn't know this happened like 3 days ago, I'm guessing. So here, let's see if I can propose this like a joke you'd hear at a bar. All right, a trans woman and a trans man walk into a powerlifting event in Canada. And well, let's just let me alter the joke to fit the actual story here. I can't believe this is reality, but truth is always stranger than fiction. Okay, so let's just start with the way it's been. A trans woman, aka a man, a biological man with a ding dong along, walks into the women's sport of women's powerlifting, is trans, identifies as a female, yada yada, looks as much the part as any woman can that's a man, and breaks every single record that women have ever made. This is my shock face. I know. Just gather your thoughts, your breath. I know that was just groundbreaking. Okay, so some hero. Let's give a name to this hero. This is the hero right here. All right. I think his name is something Silverberg. Is that one for the Jews right there? Avi. Avi. So that sounded kind of a little to me. Okay. That's what's up, partner. Representing. Uh, what do I show first? So chronologically, because I do have something special here. This individual, this face you see between you or before you. I'm sorry. Oh God, if it's between you, I'm sorry. Don't tell me about that night. But that face right there, that's the face that would be staring you down, saying, "It's ma'am, man." Okay, and this is a response that you can only find on the Instagrams, which is fantastic. We got enough social media platforms to be comparable to as many alphabets or letters there are in the LGBTQZRV stuff. Okay, let's not lose it. So let me tell the story as it's meant to be told. So you're gonna hear an ad in the background because that's what we do. A bearded pro powerlifter entered a women's competition in Canada. This is the epic tale. All right, we're gonna start from this beginning, and smashed a record held by a trans lifter who was watching. That's right, the actual trans male that calls herself female. I mean, that Ann's, whatever. Okay, she's been breaking all the records and has been so happy about it. I don't know how long it was being held, but a couple days ago, the bearded fella I showed you, he broke that record like it was nothing. Avi Silverberg, what's up, Avi? That's a shout out to Avi, you of the people or something. I don't know what do Jews do to greet each other. The head coach for Team Canada powerlifting for more than 10 years. Okay, so this is a male that's very engaged and passionate about the sport. I would say it's probably not that crazy to assume in 10 years. Did you just assume something on the interwebs? Cancel this man. No, 10 years this man has been training women and any athlete in Canada, and he took less than a Jordan Peterson approach, which is going straight, for the intellectual dialogue, and just took action. And that's why he's my hero of the day. Progressive Patriots hero of the day, Abby Silverberg. So that's enough breaking up my own dialogue here or the article. So video show. Wait, hold on. So what Abby did, by the way, he wanted to show how insane the law or rules are. Okay, so all Abby did was show up to the women's competition and wanted to make a mockery of it, and all he didn't get any therapy, hormone, testosterone. Nothing was altered. 100% obvious looking male. He went there and just said, I identify as a female, because that's the rules in Canada. All you have to do, you don't have to show any proof or evidence or even look the part. All you got to say is what you identify as, and they're not allowed to question it. So finally, I don't know why it took so long, somebody stood up. So a video shared by the athlete activist group, the Independent Council of Women's Sports, shows him walking up to the platform, still fully bearded and wearing a regular men's singlet. He then casually benched nearly 370 pounds, beating the current Alberta women's record by almost 100 pounds. You want to see a video of that? I'm sure you do. Let's take a quick peek at this little video. Oh, there's look, I'm not going to play games, and I know that this is construed as like rude by some people, but I'm just, you call a spade a spade. So this man that wants to be called woman chose to go sit there and watch upright and close and personal as his record is broken. What's the video at the top here? I don't want to play the wrong thing. All right, what is amazing mom? I don't want to see a mother giving birth in an elevator. Okay, let's continue with the article before I get lost. And let me find that link. And then we'll go to the trans response. So casually beating that record by 100 pounds. That record was 275 pounds. Was held by Ann Andres, who I just copied pasted so I could find some links and articles, who was seen watching Silverberg while volunteering at the event. I love his reason for why this was wrong. And it's one of those things that it's like a scab that knows it's a wound. And this is sounding terrible. This sounds transphobic, but I'm just trying to say it is an aspect that's just saying, like, I know I'm breaking the rules and I have an unfair advantage, but at least I'm not a bleeding wound. I got to show you the literal what the individual has chose to say on the matter. Just dismisses, says, I know science and all that, but whatever. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so Andres also holds the Alberta women's record for the deadlift at 544 pounds, giving her the local record for the total. Let me correct the New York Post. The local record for the total of 3 lifts, lifting a combined 1,245 pounds. Absolutely impressive for any female in the women's category, any human. Shit, man, you whoop my ass, no question. The trans lifter won 8 of 9 competitions entered in the women's category over the last 4 years, Icon said. So Silverberg broke the record just like that. Andre stood off stage of the platform area, only strolling back after the male lifter walked off. Yeah, he just did his thing and just did the walk of like, yeah, that just happened. Howdy, deuces, peace. Icons and said Silverberg, let me see this one, mocked the discriminatory Canadian Powerlifting Union policy that allows competitors to register for events under their gender identity and expression. And so I want to make this clear that the the women's aspect of the discriminatory whatever, they're actually calling out how stupid the rules are as they stand. So they're not crapping on the guy that went and did this. A little solidarity here between the sexes. All right, so identify and not be okay. Let me start from here. Should be the CPU's trans policy states that an individual should be able to participate in the gender with which they identify and not be subject to requirements for disclosure of personal information beyond those required of cisgender athletes. That's the policy that it's pretty much don't ask, don't tell. So you got to go off of face value and word. That's that's insane. It also states, nor should there be any requirement for hormonal therapy or surgery. However, the union's competition registration policy states the competitor's government-issued photo identification, excluding youth lifters, must be verified during the weigh-in or equipment check, including date of birth, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It is unclear if Silverberg presented a government ID. Oh, gosh. Okay. I really want to get to the video where Ann Ans is giving the rebuttal. So repeated messages left for CPU's board of directors, yada, yada. Okay, they want more bureaucracy. Either way, according to Icons, what Avi so obviously points out is that policies allowing men access to women's sports competitively remove any integrity in women's competitions. You hear the solidarity? Do you hear them together saying what's clear to us all without even having to be as offensive as I may choose to be for the sake of some hyperbole? Hyperbole. There you go. I got it right. So it doesn't matter how Avi expresses himself or perceives himself. He clearly does not belong. Oh, are they doing the? I hope not. He clearly does not belong in women's sport, and neither does any other male, regardless of their motivation for wanting to participate. Just when I start to lose a little faith. Okay. Silverberg, who is also an online coach and powerlifting columnist, has not directly addressed the competition. I think he said enough. So, however, here's where the fun comes in. Andre's posted a series of lengthy videos. So let's watch this. I've not watched it in its entirety. I just saw clips on some other YouTuber's channel. Let's give a listen, see. It'd help if there was some audio. Let's get that part.
Just a super quick update.
Soft-spoken.
Yes, somebody did show up at the meet today with malicious intent. And you know what? It was nothing. It was just entirely ignored. People lived.
This is the first response. It is not over, but listen as best as you can. I hope the audio is all right to what he explains away so easily.
I volunteered. Everyone was happy that I was there. And it really struck me that maybe my participation isn't necessarily fair.
Whoa, a little self-reflection from Ann Ans here, the trans woman athlete who was born a biological male, went through puberty, got the bone density and all that jazz, has gone through some form of surgery and what other therapies, but nothing changes the fact that she has been poning all of the athletics and all the athletes within the deadlifting competition in Canada. So what Sheerm just said is it may be unfair that I'm even competing in women's sports. So let's see the play away. Quick, play me off, Bill.
I mean, there's science, whatever, but
science and whatever, but my feelings, okay? This is how I'm gonna break records and get on magazine covers, okay? I want to take the identity of a woman and their accomplishments by taking literal biological women's awards and accomplishments from them and hold records over them, while everybody knows I'm biologically a male, thus making any female sports redundant because men are going to be able to, I guess, domineer in sports that are specified for physical. I don't mean to say that women can't defeat men in certain physical things, but this one is that there's an obvious little factor involved here. So, okay, I'm going to shut up for a second.
People welcome me because I'm actually nice to people. I show up and I try to make everyone happy. Hey, folks, just a super quick update.
Okay, so the reasoning is this person should be allowed because
and
they are nice.
I think that matters a hell of a lot more than people give it credit for. People want me there because I'm actually
nice. Oh, no, keep going.
Nice to people.
Okay.
Just a little thought. I'm all good, and the CPU will continue. And be nice to each other. Lift heavy circles. Tomorrow's rack pull day.
So that's the first graceful indulgence into this whole fiasco. I wanted to get to the second one where it was a little more emotional, or anger was showing, and just pretty much dogs this dude and calling him just a malicious individual. I wanted to really show the video, so I'll just do my best to tell the story with clips. But you see here clearly, this is after the man Abby accomplished the lift, and this is our athlete taking the L not very well and doing the walk of shame. And there, can I see right here? I think, no, I could be wrong. And there's Abby right there. I wish I would have had the videos right there and prepared, but I really felt this was worthy of some attention. Let me do a little refresh and see if I could play the video that was supposed to be here as opposed. But once again, welcome Warrior Mom, Sandra. Cindy, my son's life mattered. Always an honor and a pleasure. Here, there is something opening. I do apologize for the lag, by the way. And I have an unconventional little dialogue I want to have with the audience that has so chosen to stay. Oh, good.
I love this house, but can we even afford it?
Maybe Jacob can finally get a job.
Little hint, okay? Because I do have a question I want to ask everybody.
Right. Ever since I was bitten by
also going to be filler, so you have to pay attention to the stupid ad we're forced to see. But I want you to think of a movie that you really like. I'm going to ask you some movie-esque questions. What's up, Trish? Welcome.
Staying in school, Jacob.
And feel free to always drop comments and give me feedback. Here's the video. I covered this, not soft enough about it, but not caring enough. Smashing there he is. Casually. Everything about it, and then stand with him. Okay.
Your unique tax situation deserves an expert
second link.
who's
Otherwise,
just
I'm
right
just
to
going to
do
jump
your
right into
taxes.
this.
Hand off your returns with
goodness
TurboTax
gracious.
Live Full Service.
You know what, Internet? You can just go suck it. Go away. Okay, hold on. Can I find a quote from that second video? Jesus, transitioned almost 20 years ago. I suppose the obvious thing that would be proposed is, oh, look, she transitioned over 20 years ago. She's practically all women now anyway. You just cannot get over some of the stats of this specific matter. Feelings are going to get impassioned, and there's just, how far does a society, I think there's individual rights that are always inherent and are always important. You just can't steamroll over our own over the truth. Okay, if you want me to participate as a friend or as just a civil human being. Even if I see a trans female walking down the street, I'm not going to dead name. I've been in this scenario at a bar or something, and somebody says something that's maybe off color, or you refer to them accidentally as the pronoun that they do not prefer, and then some are pretty easy about it, and then I show respect, and I'll even apologize. If it seems so offensive. I guess context is very important, but there was one occasion at my favorite bar where it was a completely accidental Freudian slip, and that individual, that young male, lady, man, was screaming at my first slip up. And of course, knowing me, if you tell anybody, don't go smoking outside and don't go buy a porn mag or something, we kind of rebel. And if you get up in my face about it and you ask or demand me to take a knee, I'm going to stand up. And it got a little awkward for her friends and my friends, but hey, we're still here to tell the tale. That aside, okay, shaking it off, I wanted to ask movies for a good reason, okay? Big movie buff guy. And I know I transitioned pretty fast. See the wordplay there? Transitioned. That was no accident. I'm just that smooth. All right, I'd like to ask everybody and anybody right now, while you're here, feel free, indulge me. If I asked you what your 3 favorite movies are that are either A, psychological horror, or like kind of gory horror, I would love to see your answers. Okay, Brandy, I got you. And I'd just like to put out there that recently I found a kind of a new genre. It's always been there, but I found a nice collection of this movie type, which is frontier horror, which is during the American settlement days and the Cabinet of Caligari. Goodness gracious! Of course, that's the one name I can never say accurately. And you know what? I'll call myself out. I know that's a classic. What's up, Mr. President, Birthday Chat Supervisor, Justin Rowan, Mr. President over there. The Cabinet of Caligari, I think is how you say it. That actual movie, which was NC-17 when it first came out. That's how crazy it was. I'm sure that some of the standards, even that movie back there. I mean, that's the same actor. That's Michael McDowell. That guy, Clockwork Orange. He went on to play Caligari, based on the facts of what he did during his reign. Very gory tale. I have not seen it, so perhaps that'll be on my list. Smile was actually Ghost Ship is a classic because it's got one of the best openings of any horror film ever. That opening, I think, will remain in the test of time or past the test of time because it has done so for almost 2 decades now. And if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. Go treat yourself. Go even find it on YouTube here. Go ahead and search the opening to Ghost Ship and just watch that opening clip and tell me you don't feel like you're sucked in and want to see the rest of it. But it's just one of those. I remember seeing it in the theater in 98. I was a kid. My jaw dropped at how awesome it was. I think 98, 2001, something like that. Smile is a very recent horror. Oh, and I had a really. This is gonna seem like an overconfident jest, and trust me, I'm not meaning to. But aside from Jack, hey Tracy, welcome. What's up? Good to have you. Aside from mentioning I have not seen the Cabinet of the name I can't say right, I kind of challenge anybody to throw a movie my way that you think I may not have seen or that you have seen and that you enjoy, specifically in the realm of horror, action. I love my international action movies, but feel free. There's a 13 Ghosts is what you're talking about, by the way. That's also a classic. It's got a great cast, and it does a great thing about the tropes of horror. That's one of the reasons why I love, what is it, Cabin in the Woods. I think they did a great thing by making the genre of horror look like a controlled necessity from the government, the powers that be, that are all tied to some sort of like cult figure that's trying to keep the world from getting destroyed. If that's a bit of a spoiler, I'm sorry, you should have gotten on that boat a long time ago. But the way it all hits the fan in definitely Cabin in the Woods, that's a rockin' suggestion right there. Stigmata, 1999 or 98 with, was it, I remember it was a beautiful Spanish woman, Selma Hayek. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's, oh, come on. She played Catwoman. Somebody help me here. I know somebody can. She's extremely, Halle Berry. Halle Berry stars in Stigmata. For its time, it was a pretty decent film. My horror aficionado, just, yeah, I like horror at a higher level these days. So that's just, it's really low on my list at this juncture. So real quick, suggesting frontier horror and stuff like that. The Burrowers is a pretty nasty one, and you'll find this in recent, like, top 10, top 20 lists. Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell, some of the nastiest unalives that you can possibly hope to see are conducted in such a slow burn kind of way where it's almost actually painful to watch. There's a couple of epic moments in that film, and the story and the characters, everybody's memorable. Bone Tomahawk is one of my top 10 horror movies. Let's see. Both movies. House on Haunted Hill is a classic. That's one specifically that I was not able to appreciate when I saw it the first time. And the original, to be completely honest, I was under the influence many years ago and probably need to give it another watch because I just don't remember it. But that's those are some classics right there. Oh, yeah. I saw that last video, and I love how the short that I played, which was just me watching Tropic Thunder, the director's cut, and I played the parody commercial of Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey Jr. being monks that secretly want to have sex with one another or something like that in the Vatican, and that seemed to really encapsulate what beefing YouTubers kind of represent to me. It's y'all seen this viral video of the two dogs barking at each other? They're behind the wall, and their bark is real nasty. And then, like, they go around the wall, or a door opens, and they both start like whining, and that they're afraid to engage. Then the door closes, and the wall is solid again, and then the barking begins again and again. This is not me. I'm throwing shade at the behavior and the situation, the individuals, to each their own. If that's what you want to be recognized for, if that's how you want to build something, anything, an audience, I am honestly at peace with having what I have. It's a blessing. I'd be okay with just having 100 subscribers as long as there's somebody willing to listen and engage and have dialogue. But what I refuse to do is participate in never-ending, stressful, just battles. And on YouTube, there's like no escape because you got to go and do your daily living, and then your mind is not all where it should be in the moment. That's my personal experience, and I just don't know how some people that have been doing it nonstop since I entered the fray independently after the Stuck in the Middle years, which still a lot of fun. I miss Josh a lot. I'm probably going to be giving him a call and asking him to join us. I'm sure y'all be okay with that. And just have some comedy, good old-fashioned comedy. Josh was fantastic at that dry humor and too soon kind of a thing, which made me nervous at the time, but, you got to take risks. So, all right, we covered some movies, and I just remembered, like, I titled this entire thing to be a focus point on that whole Canada thing. Ann's 275-pound deadlift was broken without effort by a fully bearded man that just said, "Yeah, I'm a woman. Let me lift that sucker." And he is the progressive patriot hero of the day. There's Ann's. Oh, I didn't. Sorry. It'll be the last thing. This is the last thing you'll see. Just like the ring. You see the ring before you die. Well, you'll see that face and That's okay. I'm not really trying to be disrespectful. I just can't help it. I feel like a lot of my behavior is maybe like some shock factor, if I'm being honest with myself. But seeing how insane the demands, that's my dog scratching through the door, the demands, and then the lack of civility when somebody on the other end wants to have a conversation. Look at Chappelle. People that in Netflix wanted to boycott it were willing to lose their jobs. Like, that is not. And he even talked about a trans female friend that ended her existence. For what reason, I don't think he ever really showcased on, but he talked about, if you've seen the special, you know what I'm talking about. That's somebody that is definitely earned the respect that they're requesting. All I think a lot of us ask, it's not to be appear tyrannical or close-minded. It's just respect is something usually earned, and that's just a very basic notion of society that I think the side that's making the demands, and then a government like the one in Canada and the Biden administration, seem to forget far too often. So if you can't ask a question or make a mistake, and that's the goalpost they want to keep there, you're never going to win us over, me over, or anybody over for that matter. So there's my boy, Avi Silverberg, representing. Wow. Yeah, definitely not familiar with Jews like owning like weightlifting sports, but we're going to take this W here, okay? That's what's up. I may be coming on later tonight. Man, I'm thinking about sharing something, but I know the weight of sharing, and then you got a whole public and audience holding you to it. So maybe I should show that I've actually learned from some of the mistakes of the past. So maybe I'll just let the actions go, and then as a result, you all will see. And so I'll just say this: if things go the way I'm intending them to, you will be seeing more of this channel being up and about, and more guests, more open panels. I actually want kind of an extravaganza panel where everybody is invited to a conversation, not just this handsome face or my selected friends. I would love for everybody to participate, and we choose at least one or two like topics, really important or heavy-handed topics. No, I do not want to spend any amount, not 1, not 4, not 8, not 12 hours talking about other YouTubers and what they're doing to one another. It's just a waste of time. To me, it's disrespectful to an audience. It's disrespectful to, I don't know. I have a difference of opinion. I was no better than those people, though. I have to also acknowledge my existence on this platform since I left Stuck in the Middle and became Progressive Patriot only came to fruition because I engaged in drama. And I own up to that, and which is why I continually believe in trying to be better than how I started. And that's the only way I can ever make a resolution to you and to me and for me. So, all right, my father's flying out to Jersey for my aunt that has moved on, passed on. So we're gonna have a little dinner, and then maybe I'll see y'all tonight. Okay, take care of yourself. Okay, remember my new thing now is make sure you water your own garden, take care of you, and then go ahead and help your neighbor. Much love. Take care, and thanks for joining American Horror Story. I loved that series and made it only so far. I didn't like the carnival one, or not the carnival one. The one with the Cheetos, the Trump and Hillary thing. They lost me. Okay. To be continued. Now I'm stuttering. Peace, Jack.